Welcome to the first episode of Hero Spotlight, powered by mmdocking.com. And in this little new series, I wanna, take a look on one special hero in each episode and explain the top decks actually, how to play this champion or this hero, and why did you play the hero, and the different ways to play it, and show some decks and so on, all the information that you need about it. In our first episode, we will talk about Cassandra. It's a Haven hero. You see it already here, highlighted. And first let's talk about the starting stats and the spell schools. Cassandra has, like all the starter heroes, like also Syria and Garand, 1, 1, 2 start, 1 might, 1 magic, 2 destiny. And the spell schools Light and Air. No special ability for that, because every hero like this, if it is starting with 1 extra skill point, you see it here, because of 2 destiny, it has no extra special ability. That's the same for also Hakim, Garand, and so on. It's for every hero the same. If you have 4 skill points at the base stats, you will not have a special ability on this hero, but this is not really painful for Cassandra. What to tell so much? How you can buy her? You have the option to start with the Haven starter deck if you create a new account, so you have her instantly. Another option is to buy her in the shop with the Haven deck. Here she is integrated. Okay, it's not loading. Who cares? It's integrated here, costs normally 62,000 gold, actually only 40k gold. And you also have the option in a special Steam sale, special Steam downloadable content with the Founders Pack to get her inclusive with an alternative skin and a special Haven deck. You can find this here. This is the alternative Cassandra skin, and here I have made a little deck. I have created the deck, what you get if you buy the Founders Pack on Steam. That's just for the basics. You will find all the links that you see in this video also in the description later on. Let's start. Let's look on the first deck. I have searched 3 top decks with Cassandra. Cassandra is actually one of the best heroes, maybe the best hero since the Forgotten Wars series. You're playing her on a fortune-based, even if we look on it again, even if she has normally nice spell schools, Light and Air, it's not so bad. You have Lightning Strikes, you have Sunbursts, and so on. But you will normally not play her on spells. I will explain this in the following minutes. Let's first take a look on Diplomate. Diplomate has reached with this deck as one of the first players in Duel of Champions, the 1600 elo. He was in the last Jackpot tournament with this deck on a 12-0 streak. He has also reached over 400 tournament elo already with this deck, so his deck seems like it's one of the best Cassandras actually. And let's take a look on it. He's playing with 4 Mana Storms and 4 Week of Trainings. That's more or less normal. But if we take a look on the creatures, we are seeing the first big difference to the most of the other Cassandra decks, because he is playing without Tile Collectors. That's interesting, because normally Haven is really based on the Tile Collector. It gives you, if you play, especially if you have, for example, the first turn, you can play him and you have instantly in the turn after it 3 resources already. That's a big advantage, but he is saying, no, I don't need it. And for that he has 1 more. Normally you're playing with 2 or 3 Crusader Treasurers, but he has 4. And he also plays with a lot of fortunes. Way more than in the other Cassandra decks. And the rest is more or less basics. He's playing with 3 Crusader Watchmans, 2 Holy Praetorians, 4 Griffins, 2 Soothsayers to get the unique fortunes out of the deck. 4 Wolf Captains, only 1 Peos, that's also a bit special. 4 Glories, Anael of course, and 4 Crusader Treasurers, like we have seen it already. That means 59 cards, creatures only 25, spells only 2 Lightning Strikes, and 23 fortunes. That's really a lot. And let's take a look on the fortunes. He's playing on the various tactics. That's more or less replacement for the tile collectors here in this deck. That means where a normal Cassandra would play a tile collector in the first turn, he is just playing the various tactics and putting out some important cards or unimportant cards for the lineup out of his deck. That means, yeah, if he knows, oh, okay, against this opponent I don't need this and this card, so he has instantly the option to take it out of the deck and higher the quality of his deck in the current lineup. He's playing with 2 bridges, 4 campfires, 3 pillagers, 4 River of Gems. That's really interesting. That's also replacement more or less for the tile collectors, so he's saying, okay, we don't have this extra resources on the board by the tile collectors, but we have with the campfires and with the River of Gems just tons of resources, and we can flute the field so crazy. Also, he's playing, of course, with all the 3 unique fortunes that you play in a Cassandra. That means with the Altar of Usher, with Cassandra's Imperial Devotion, and with the Prison. And also he's playing with 2 Cosmic Realignments and 2 Wastelands. That means it's a real... Yeah, it's not such an over... Yeah, it's every Cassandra is aggressive, of course, but you could play her way more aggressive than Diplomat is doing it here. He is more trying to get as much resources as possible with the Fortunes and with the Crusader Treasurers, and fluting the field, and on the same step, because he has so many resources with all of his cards, in the same turn he also trying to use the Pillages and the Wastelands to just destroy the next turn by the opponent, and then the game can be really, really fast, and yeah. Also 2 Lightning Strikes, probably against, for example, Lurkers in an Inferno matchup, or against, for example, Untamed Wraiths against Necro, because we see he has not really a lot units that are magic, so he has really problems against Untamed Wraith, and also he has not really units over 3 might. That means he would also have problems with Lurkers, and there the Lightning Strikes can be really helpful. So yeah, that's the first deck what I want to show. The next deck is my own one that I'm playing correctly. We are seeing here already the differences. I'm playing with 28 creatures instead of 25, with 5 spells instead of 2. Compared to Diplomat, and for that only with 17 fortunes. Yeah, but overall the deck is not so different. We have the tile collectors, for that yeah, we have 3 payos. For that we are missing the River of Gems completely. Maybe that's not the best idea, but yeah. We are not playing with Wastelands here in this deck. For that we are playing with Cleansing Lights, and even with 1 more Lightning Strike. But overall, you see, the most decks of Cassandra are really even. There are some core cards, like the Wolf Captains, like the Eunuchs, like Campfires, like Bridges, and like the normal Haven units, Watchmans, Griffins, Glories, and so on. So there are around, I would say, maybe 40, 42 core cards, and the rest can change. Depends on the player and his choice. That means some are playing with Wastelands, some are with more Pillagers, some are with more revised tactics, some with Singularity, like we are seeing it in my deck, some without. So yeah, around 40, 42 core cards, and the other 8 to 10 cards are changing in every deck. But yeah, overall it looks similar. And now we are taking also a look. This is a bit different, and here we are seeing Vampfurys Cassandra, also a top deck. All the decks that I'm showing are absolutely top decks. That means you can reach with this deck easily tier 1 in the jackpot. But Cassandra has this Cassandra has an other way, because we are seeing first on the events. Here comes the choice to the Week of Mercenaries. That's because he is not playing, for example, with the Praetorians. He's for that playing with some Dark Assassins, and maybe he has just not seen the usage of the Week of Training. I still think the Week of Training is maybe a bit better, but we are seeing here a way more aggressive version with the Dark Assassins. For that he don't have Crusader Watchmen in this deck. Playing with way more creatures overall, 30 here. And yeah, on the Fortunes we are seeing also here no River of Gems. Also no Pillages, that's really interesting. Yeah, we have seen now, if we change the 3 decks, so if we take a look again, 1 is playing, for example, completely without Pillages. Here, it's absolutely working, you can reach tier 1 with it. because it just has another focus. It's more aggressive with the Dark Assassin. One is playing without Wastelands and for that with Pillages. That's mine. And Diplomate is just playing with Wastelands and with Pillages. So yeah, this are what I have said, not really the core cards. They are changing a lot. It just depends on your playstyle and what you want to reach. But every of these 3 decks is good, and there are like 100 other versions of Cassandra. There are little changes. So yeah, just find your own way if you want to build Cassandra. Now let's shortly explain. I don't want to show a complete replay. I think this would be a bit too long for a short video. But what I want to explain shortly is how to play Cassandra normally, and what is the strength of Cassandra Fortunes. Why is it so strong? Why is it so powerful these times? It's because of the resource overkill. Because of the fact that you are starting with 2 Fortunes, you are really fast to the campfires. You are really fast to the bridges, and here in this deck, for example, you are also really fast to the River of Gems. On the same way, you need to spam Crusader Treasurer only 3 might. That means after 3 turns already, you can latest on, if you have him on your hand, what normally will happen, you can play him already, and that gives to the opponent an incredible pressure. Because if he is not killing him early enough, you have another 2 resources each turn, combination with your campfires, maybe with your River of Gems. If the field is flooded, even in combination with Cassandra's Imperial Devotion, you can have like turns already in turn 4 or 5 with 10 or more resources if you use all your stuff. And that's amazing, especially because you have so powerful, cheap units. If you have some Wolf Captains on the field and some Chloes, let's just think about the fact you are building. Normally, you have a good hand, and you have, like, in turn 5, you have 10 resources. You have already the Treasurer on the field. You are playing 2 Wolf Captains, and even 2 Chloes as well, if you have everything. That's a field pressure. Almost no one can deal with it. If the opponent has not heavy board clear, he has almost lost the game at this point. And if you have flooded the field 1 time, and the opponent can't handle it any longer, then your strength is coming with the Pillages, with the Wastelands, with the Prison, to just hold your advantage for the rest of the game and finish him as fast as possible. Yeah, that's the point of Cassandra. Let's also talk shortly about possible counters for Cassandra. It's hard to counter Cassandra because Cassandra has actually not a real opponent that is countering it completely, where you would say, okay, this hero, this deck is countering Cassandra so hard. But what can be a counter is definitely some events, or what can it make harder for Cassandra. That can be, for example, the event if you play a real control-based deck. It can be the Week of Austerity, so he can just not flood so much at least. But even more important maybe is the Week of Taxes. If we think about the fact that, yeah, if you have the Week of Taxes, for example, against Diplomate's deck, his Campfires, his River of Gems, and so on, all costs more and has no impact any longer because it doesn't bring so much if you play it with a Week of Taxes. And also the other important fortunes like Prisons, Wasteland, Pillages, Bridges, and so on are more expensive, so you are slowing down the incredible speed of Cassandra. Also helpful can be the Blind Arbiters, just because Cassandra is really playing sometimes, especially if Cassandra is really on a good way and have mass resources, and with Cosmic and so on, she is playing even 10 cards in 1 turn maybe, if she has really a perfect hand and good draws and everything. So Blind Arbiters can help here maybe as well if you are playing a deck that is so depending on playing cards in 1 turn. Otherwise, board clear is helpful. That means especially Earth and Fire spell schools can be helpful. Early Forbidden Flame, before he is using his first Prison, can be helpful. Also Swarms. But yeah, it's really hard to play. I don't even want to talk so much about it because it's really hard to play against Cassandra. Actually, there is no real counter, and for me, Cassandra is maybe the most consistent and the strongest deck in the game actually. I hope the first Hero Spotlight could help you a bit. Tell me what you think about this new series, and tell me also which hero you want to see next if you liked this episode. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, and check out mmdocking.com.